Hi, I'm Scott Goldfein, Editor-in-Chief and Associate Publisher of Security Sales and Integration. I'm delighted to have with me today Peter Lowenstein, Vice President of NAPCO's Alarm Lock brand. He's an expert on our topic of key access control trends for security integrators. Peter, thank you so much for joining us.
You're very welcome.
Outstanding. Let's jump right in, shall we?
Definitely.
What do you see, Peter, as the most promising access control opportunity for integrators today?
So I think the best way for integrators to go forward is to get out of more of the traditional enormous project mindset. I think we're finding a lot more play in the incremental size jobs, the 2 to 8 door size jobs. There's so many more businesses now leveraging access control platforms of any kind. So I think focusing on them is going to be a great new market vertical for you within a market vertical, as it were. Beyond that, also, I think focusing on a recurring monthly revenue and RMR model is going to do well for them. That's more and more prevalent as more people find things on the cloud and they don't have the ability or want to deal with them locally. That RMR, managed access control model, I think is going to be a very large stepping stone for people.
Absolutely. We like to promote recurring revenue to keep continuity at all times,
Definitely.
What would you say are some keys for success in that area?
Honestly, it's an issue of finding the appropriate product set and a group of people who can support that set. Anymore, it's an issue of a solution sell versus a particular product sell. I mean, certainly, the hardware is one aspect of a job, the software and all the various parts and pieces and widgets. But if you can find yourself in a situation where you have a group that can handle all the above, that integration within your integration is even better, because now you effectively, and again, everyone's least favorite term, you have one throat to choke, as it were. You have one point of contact for all of that. I think that's going to be vital for all that.
Mm-hmm. And I think you started touching on it, but going a little bit further with that, what should integrators look for specifically in a vendor partner to help them get the edge that they need?
Really, I think it's an issue of finding someone who can provide you with a solution sale, as I like to call it. Let's look at this thing from the edge of the curb all the way to the server room, every part, piece, hardware, firmware, less the wire basically that you need to do a complete sale. I think that's important to show people not only do you have one point of contact on an integration side, but you have a continuity that exists within an entire corporation. I think that gives them a very nice security continuum they can work on, and it gives them the option to work from the simplest offline standalone lock all the way through a completely hybridized on and offline access control system at an enterprise level, multiple locations, etc. So it gives them the choice, but all with the same corporation, and it creates a familiarity with that corporation and the products that makes the integrator even stronger and more expert at what they're doing.
Mm-hmm. So following up on that, could you highlight for us, Peter, a new access control offering or development from Alarm Lock or elsewhere within NAPCO?
I'd love to. Yeah, we're pretty excited about this. It's a product called Air Access. So imagine, if you will, you have your sort of a typical access control system, which has a variety of components, both wired and non-wired and traditional electromechanical products and all the rest of it. So you're very familiar with that entire system. I'll use our system, the network system, which is our product at that level. And you know everything about that system. People are familiar with it. Now, here's the biggest difference. Here's where it differentiates. Now we bring in Air Access. What Air Access is basically utilizing the same Starlink radio that people were familiar with from the NAPCO side, and now creating a system wherein your entire signal is driven via a cellular radio versus Wi-Fi. So what that means is the entire system is not having any impact on your IP, and it's not IP addressable. It doesn't affect anything that you currently have, but also too, now you can bring this access control system to those 2 to 8 door type jobs without them having to have any IT department. There's no bandwidth issue, enormous cost savings across the entire thing. And basically from that radio forward, everything is exactly the same that you've already been working with. So everything you know and love about the Alarm Lock, the networks, all the rest, but now you're just driving it off of a cellular based system, which also can help create an RMR for whoever wants to work with it if they choose to do so. It's a monthly subscription. And then, of course, if somebody wants to manage, do a managed system for somebody, they can add a little bit to that monthly subscription, and voila. So really, it's a great add-on to an existing strong technology that offers new verticals and new potential and RMR potential, everything we're talking about.
Wow, sounds like a great option for both the integrator and the customer.
It really is. It really is. It opens up a lot of new areas that they haven't been able to get to. Imagine you've got remote fracking sites or remote cell towers or all these type of locations where you could never really have genuine real-time access control before because there was no way to do so. Now you can do so. Now you can really monitor that. There's an app and all the things you'd expect. But the key point with this is that you can now bring that access control to places where you never could before.
Outstanding. Peter, is there anything else you'd like to add before we part?
No, I really appreciate your time on this. And again, NAPCO as a complete solutions provider, we've got you, as I mentioned, from the edge of the curb all the way to the server room. So, we're a great one-stop shop, and we certainly appreciate the opportunity to have this conversation with you today.
Well, thank you, Peter. And I want to remind viewers to be sure to check out SSI's 2021 Access Control Deep Dive in the May issue and online. Bye for now. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.